worked with her father in his boats. But when the fish were few and the money was tight, they ran rum and stole sheep to stay afloat. Mary ambushed a bonnet and bread, that's enough to be sentenced to death. But when she was arrested, her sentence commuted, she agreed to transport instead. By 1780, the prisons were full, wet stinking hulks on the Thames. That's where they kept them, wet, sick and idle, until they were sent to Australia. After 9 months on the first fleet, Mary was with child. On the Charlotte she gave birth to a girl, and she met William Bryant, who she'd marry in Sydney. He had a strong face and could sail, but all that is left is the story of her character, so strong to survive across the world. Her struggle and fight for her life and her children, and the tea leaves she brought from Sydney Cove. In Sydney their fishing should bring a good life, but you can't keep the catch for yourself, 'cause you work for the governor and you do as you're told, or the redcoats will whip you to hell. Then the crops failed and the colony was starving. Mary and Will made a plan. They'd sail 3,000 miles with the children and some men, steal the governor's cutter to Timor. After weeks burnt and hungry, they sailed into paradise with food, a bed and some wine. But the empire will hunt you to the ends of the earth, and the redcoats arrived there in time. They were arrested again with the crew from the Bounty for transport and trial in London. But on the voyage, William, Charlotte, her daughter, and the baby, Emmanuel, all died. And all that is left is the story of her character, so strong to survive across the world. Her struggle and fight for her life and her children, and the tea leaves she brought from Sydney Cove. In London her story inspired the nation, especially the poor who could see. She was trying to make the best of a bad situation and paid a high price for that dream. Boswell, a round man of letters and influence, campaigned to get Mary free, and she gave him the tea leaves she brought from Australia, then lived a quiet life by the sea. And all that is left is the story of her character, so strong to survive across the world. Her struggle and fight for her life and her children, and the tea leaves she brought from Sydney Cove. Yes, all that is left is the story of her character, too strong to survive across the world. Her struggle and fight for her life and her children, and the tea leaves she brought from